All right, Team Impact. Good morning, Tuesday, the 17th. Loving life here. Equivalent ratios today. We're cranking it up. We're in student handout two. Um, so, what we're going to be doing is called some scaling it up, multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Show you a couple different ways to see if they're equal. But let me pull this over here. Sorry, I got to get squared away here. Let's get into this thing. Ratios are equivalent and can be simplified to the same values. All right, just like equivalent fractions. Remember, all right. So the factor or the multiplier, all right, in which both numbers in the ratio are multiplied to form an equivalent ratio. So what does all that mean? Well, simply it means this. We're going to scale this up. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both of these numbers by the same number to scale it up to see if it's equal. So 2 times, and that dot's there, times 4 is 8. 5 times 4 is the 20. So yes, that does equal that because we scaled it up by a factor of 4. The multiplier is 4. Okay. So now we could look at it this way. 2 times 4 is that and that. That's one way to look at it. If you cross multiply this, you would get 40, you would get 40. So therefore we have equal ratios, equal fractions if we cross multiplied it. Okay. So now we're going to come down here. We're going to scale these up, or I guess we could scale them down, I guess. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and scale this up. And a real easy one is just to start with 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 11 is 6 to 22. Okay, pretty easy. All right, let's use 10. All right, or 30 to 110. I multiplied both by 10. The second one, I'm going to scale down. I'm going to reduce it, right? I'm going to factor it down. And I know that 3 goes into both of those. I know that 2 goes into both of those. I also know that 6 goes into both of those. So I'm going to use the biggest number or the greatest common factor of this. 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So I divided it by 6 here. Okay. Another one, I'm just going to double it. I'm going to multiply both by 2 over here. 36 times 2 is 24. So that equals that, which equals that. Okay. Pause the video and do the last number 3 on your own. So if you're just coming back on, I'm just going to scale it up to 12 to 20, and I'm going to reduce it by 2 and get 3 to 5. Okay. All right. So pretty easy stuff so far, just scaling it up, reducing it. We did some factoring down here. We've done that already. Determine if the ratios are equal or equivalent. If so, determine the multiplier or scale factor. Okay. Is this equal to that? Times 4 times 4, yes. And the multiplier is 4. Now, to get from 12 to 6, I divided it by 2. But 4 divided by 2 is 2, not 3. So, no, they are not equal. They are not equal, not equal. Okay. So, let's take a look at this one. This is interesting, is it not? I can't get from 8 to 20. Huh. So is there another way to do this to see if they're equal? Well, sure there is. So what we could do is grab our calculator, okay, and take a look at it this way. 6 times 20. 6 times 20, okay, is 120. So that's 120. 8 times 15. 8 times 15 is 120. So when we cross multiply these two and get the same product, yes, they are equal. But they want the factor. So they want the factor. So that's one way to check that they're equal. But what do we now? How did we scale it up? So let's see if we take 20 and divide it by 8 and see what we get. 20 and divided by 8, we get 2.5. So that is 2.5. If I take 15 and divide it by 6, 15 and divide it by 6, I end up with, so if I take this times 2.5, I'm going to get that. And if I take this times 2, I'm going to get that. So the factor is 2.5. So there's a couple different ways to do it. I showed you how to cross multiply. I divided it down. I got the same number. So that means I multiplied it back up and got my factor. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Audrey and Megan are decorating for a birthday party. Audrey hangs 4 streamers, 1, 2, 3, 4, in the same amount of time that Megan hangs 6. If Audrey hangs 12 streamers, then how many will Megan hang? All right. So our initial deal is 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6. But they don't want to know that. They want to know if I scale this up to 12. Well, if I multiply that by 3 and I multiply that by 3, all right, Megan is going to hang 18. All right, and we scaled it up, or a factor of 3. Okay, so not too bad so far. Again, scaling up, factoring down. We have multipliers, we have factors. Good math so far. Let's flip the page and continue our path here. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this one. All right. Sally Summers' punch recipe is a combination of lemonade and fruit. Sally uses 3 cups of lemonade for 4 cups of fruit punch. In order to make the batch for the 4th of July, she needs 21 cups of lemonade. How many cups of fruit will she use, right? So what they're trying to do here is just show you another way to do it. Nobody probably will do this. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Okay, so if you were to do this, this last one is 21, this last one is 28. So 28 cups of fruit. Okay, so an easier way to do it is just by scaling, right? So how do I get from there to there? Times 7 times 7, and that gives it to it. So our factor is 7 there. Okay, just another way to look at it. All right, these are all equivalent fractions. Number 8. Use the pattern below to determine how many gray squares there would be if there are 15 white squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 gray, 1, 2, 3 white. I want to scale that up to 15 white. So that was times 5. 4 times 5 is 20 gray, and there you have it. Go ahead and pause the video and do those last 4, okay? Number 9, Mrs. Malone earns 2 hours of paid vacation for every 9 days' work. So it's 2 hours, 9 days. How many hours of pay will she get for 81 days? So that's easy. Times 9 is 18 hours. 18 hours. Ratios are so easy to work with once you understand how to scale them. A wrapping paper fundraiser sells rolls of gold and red wrapping paper. The ratio of gold rolls sold to red rolls sold is 5 to 8. 5 to 8. Gold to red. If the school sells 78 rolls, all right, then how many were gold? Ooh, this is an interesting one. So they want 78 total. 78 total. Well, what was the total here sold? All right, if they sold 5 gold and 8 red, what was the total there? And the total there was 13 total. So how do I get from there to there? Well, it's simple. We just take our calculator, and we're going to take 78 and divide it by 13. And we end up with what? 6. So 13 times 6 is that. So now if I scale these up by a factor of 6, okay, I'm going to get not only my gold, but also my red. 5 times 6 is 30. 8 times 6 is 48. And there you have it. Gold and red. So how did I get this total here? I added these two together. I know I didn't need 13, I needed 78. So I took this and divided it by this, which told me I multiplied it by 6. And then I just scaled those up by a factor of 6. Good math there. Number 11. There is a total of 30 pieces, puzzle pieces. 3 out of 5 are red. The remaining are black. How many puzzle pieces, all right, are there? There's a total of 30. Total of 30 here, okay? We have a total of 30 pieces, right? 3 out of 5 are red, right? So how many? 3 out of 5 are red. And then how many puzzle pieces are black? Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I started coughing. Excuse me. So we had 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. So 3 out of the 5 are red. So this is red. This is our total. So if 3 out of the 5 are red, 3 are red, 2 are black. The total is 5. Makes sense? So what I did was I just rewrote it over here. 3 red, 2 black, total of 5. How do I get from 5 total to 30? I multiply it by 6. So I'm going to scale these both up by 6 and end up with 18 red and 12 black. How many puzzle pieces are black? 12 are black. Okay, so that can get a little bit confusing, but you have to decipher it a little bit there. All right, Jamal. Jamal says that 18 to 12, that 18 to 12 and 3 or 4 are not equal. All right. Margie says they are. Who is correct? So Jamal says 18 to 12 is not equal to 3 to 4. Okay. Well, let's see. How can I get from here to here? Well, I could work backwards and say times 6. 6 times 4 is 24. I know they're not equal. No, they're not equal because they don't have the same factor, right? Right? So, and just to justify it, because 3 times 6 is 18, 3 times 4 is 12, and it needed to be, I'm sorry, 3 times 6 is 18, right? And 4 times 6 on the bottom, I apologize, is 24. Okay, so 24 does not equal 12, so they're not equal. Okay, sorry about that, but mistakes happen. Flip it over. We are moving on to homework 2, equal ratios. You need to do this. Take your time. It's starting to pick up here a little bit. All right. Have a good day.